What do we know? What can we expect from this probe?
Good morning, Haslinda. So as we know, the Supreme Court had appointed an expert panel earlier this year to look into the Hindenburg's researchers' allegations against the Adani Group. Post the expert panel's report, they had asked the Securities and Exchange Board of India, which is India's market regulator, to complete an investigation and probe into the allegations. What we know is that back in 2020, there was around 13 offshore funds that had invested in Adani Group stocks, and for a long time they were suspected to be fronts for the group. Now, Adani has vehemently denied this allegation, but it seems like the Supreme Court's pressure on the regulator to finish an investigation within a 3-month timeline will have led to some more findings about who these investors were, who these funds were representing. Apart from that, there were also allegations about accounting practice issues and related party transactions, particularly certain transactions with offshore entities, entities belonging to Gautam Adani's older brother, Vinod Adani, and maybe those disclosures were lacking or those disclosures weren't adequately made. So what we expect is that the SEBI's report will delve on these three different topics. One is the accounting and governance practices, second is related party transactions, and the third is whether the Adani Group has maintained the minimum public shareholding, has complied with the minimum public shareholding rule, which requires that listed companies have a minimum of 25% public shareholding. In case SEBI does find that some of these funds were acting on behalf of Adani, or that they had in fact received money from related entities, maybe that would have changed the shareholding pattern of the group companies. So as of right now, what we know is that the market regulator is expected to submit its report to the court, and the court is expected to hear the case only on the 29th of August.
Advait, just very quickly, might be related to this. What do we know about the auditor of Adani Ports stepping down? Because that's not a good thing when you hear something like that. What do we know about that?
Yes, absolutely. On Saturday, Deloitte, Haskins & Sells, which is the audit arm of Deloitte globally in India, had resigned as auditors of Adani Ports, one of the larger companies in the Adani stead. What happened was multiple factors came to a head, essentially. One is that Deloitte had flagged certain transactions between Adani Ports and other entities that it believes are related to, related to the group or related to companies named in the Hindenburg report. Secondly, what we have to understand is Deloitte only audits about 7 entities in the Adani Ports group, whereas there are about 85 to 90 subsidiaries that it doesn't have any visibility on. And the third factor is that Adani had received a legal opinion about its compliance record and whether it had followed Indian laws and security and accounting practices. But Deloitte wanted an independent investigation, and because the Adani Group and Deloitte seem to differ on this point, these various reasons have led to Deloitte's resignation. It certainly doesn't bode well for the group at a time like this, because the auditor's resignation comes just on the heels of the regulator's probe report that's expected today.